Hey, how are you? Hey. Morning, sir. Good morning.
Electric one there?
Good.
July. They bumped them up.
Hey, how's it going? Chair Lucero?
Well, sir,
You got yours?
how are you?
Raina.
Or, I mean Garcia?
The roll call and all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna just do Wayne also.
Okay.
But by the time they get 'em,
No. Thank you, sir.
well,
Sorry, I called you Lucero, I meant Garcia. I'm sorry.
I've been called George.
I was thinking Lee.
It's like,
But-
so
that's what we're working.
I know, without
It's all
that
good in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we.
ability. So it's a little catch-22 there where, oh, boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's working on, he's working them.
Yeah, well, we had a project manager working on too many projects. Putting money aside, so. Got it. Hoping to have a church start.
Who are you doing chargers through?
I stay with Church Bank because I'm kind of willing to charge for everything.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. No, that makes sense, so. Yeah, no, it's certainly, yeah, it's an interesting.
It is.
It is an interesting.
What's up?
Hey, Liz, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Over here.
Oh,
Getting by.
I know, it's been,
You always ask for a quiet day, but it never happens.
yeah, I know.
Something else pops up, something else pops up.
Yeah.
Good, I totally forgot.
We went on Wednesday to go look at that lot
Oh, yeah.
for the bus rodeo.
Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. We get sound.
Sounds like the voice of the Almighty coming down from heaven. I gotta laugh out of that one, huh? Okay, are we recording?
Hold on one second. Let me get the recording going.
Technical difficulties.
This is recording, and yes, sir. We're all set.
Okay, we're recording, we have a quorum. And good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tamu. Muy santos buenos días de Dios. I'd like to welcome everyone to the board meeting of the North Central Regional Transit District for March 6th, 2026. And with that, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Village of Chama,
Is not here.
Town of Edgewood,
Here.
City of Espanola,
Here.
Los Alamos County,
Here.
Nambe Pueblo,
Present.
Okay Wenge,
Is not present.
not present, Rio Arriba County,
Here.
oh,
We just skipped,
Pueblo of Poake,
is not here.
not here, Pueblo de San Aldefonso,
Yeah, but
Present.
plug it in.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Susan was here a second ago. Let's see.
Phone.
Oh, here we go. Just give her a second to get in.
you have to let her in,
I did.
go down a little bit.
No, sorry.
Admit.
See, Nick, this is why we need that monitor. Okay, you could read
Okay.
Santa Clara again.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Suzanne, you're muted.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.
City of Santa Fe,
Present.
Santa Fe County,
Present.
Taos County,
Present.
Town of Taos,
Present.
Village of Taoski Valley,
Present.
Pueblo of Tesuque, not present.
And we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much.
Village of Chama just showed up.
Good, okay, thank you. No introductions for today. Let's go ahead and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone could remain standing for a moment of silence, keeping in mind everything that's going on throughout the world, people that are in the middle of terrible things that are happening in our communities and everywhere else. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. All right, approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes from staff on the agenda? Everything is good? Changes? No changes from the district. Recommended changes from the board? Seeing none, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Santa Fe County,
Second.
second by Rio Arriba, right? Rio Arriba. Can you call the roll, please, Reina?
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Oh, they're not
not
here.
present. Village of Chama, Yes. Town of Edgewood,
Aye.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Okay Winge,
Not here. You could go to Rio Arriba.
Rio Arriba,
Yes.
Pueblo San Ildefonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Commissioner Mascarenas?
Yes.
Thank you.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Motion passes.
motion passes.
Thank you. It's on to public comments. Now is the time for anyone from the public to come and address the board. If there are anyone here, is anyone here, please come to the podium. Doesn't seem like we have anyone here for public comment, and nobody online. So we will go ahead and move on past that. Awards and recognitions. Presentation of the 2026 Blue Bus Transit Employee Appreciation Day Proclamation. Turn this over to the Director, Sofel, and Rick Lemay.
So the month of March, particularly March 18th, we recognize our transit employees. This is something that's done across the country in recognition of the fine work that's done on the front lines for public transit. Before we read the proclamation, let's turn over to Rick just to give a little bit of overview of kind of how the district is celebrating transit appreciation, and then we'll present the proclamation.
Thank you. Pleased to celebrate again the National Transit Employee Appreciation Day. This started off years ago by the American Public Transit Association driver appreciation, but there are so many people behind the scenes who run transit systems. So our team works carefully with our HR team to put together internal celebrations to really delight in our own staff, and Adam can tell you a little bit more about that. But as far as the external activities, we'll have special banners, announcements on buses, on the web page for people, customers to also tell us how much they appreciate transit. They can get this their knowledge, this is where I'm looking for, the compliments, that's the word, to us for our service. And say a little bit more about what we're doing.
Thank you, Rick. The big one, backed by popular demand for the third year in a row, is chair massages. So we did this 3 years ago, 10, 15-minute chair massages for the staff, and we bring massage therapists into the different sites. And we did it for the first time 3 years ago, and typically we try to do something different each year, but we were told to bring them back, so we did. So we're doing that. We've got some great food. There's pastries and pizza and lots of stuff throughout the day. We've got some prizes that we'll be giving away, as well as some gift bags with some cool items in them. And that'll go out to all the staff. So excited to celebrate and appreciate our staff on March 18th.
And so we do have a proclamation that we could ask the chair to read and officially proclaim. There's not board action required, but we're delighted to have this as a ceremonial way to recognize our employees.
So with that being said, are there also chair massages for the board? Just saying.
March 19th, come on in.
You hear that, everyone? Just kidding. Definitely great to appreciate all the people that are part of the organization, and they make it happen every day. So the proclamation number 2026-01, Blue Bus Employee Appreciation Day Proclamation. Whereas the North Central Regional Transit District recognizes the dedicated Blue Bus employees who provide essential transportation services across more than 10,000 square miles of North Central New Mexico. And whereas transit employees ensure the safety, reliability, and efficiency of our public transportation system, forming the foundation of mobility throughout our region. And whereas through their daily efforts, they connect residents and visitors to employment, education, healthcare, and other vital services, strengthening our communities and enhancing quality of life. And whereas the American Public Transit Association has declared March 18th, 2026 as National Transit Employee Appreciation Day. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the North Central Regional Transit District Board of Directors hereby designates March 18th, 2026 as Blue Bus Transit Employee Appreciation Day. We encourage all residents, businesses, and community partners to join us in expressing appreciation for the Blue Bus employees who make public transportation possible every day. Declared by the governing body of the North Central Regional Transit District on the 6th day of March, 2026. And definitely, you know, I think all in fairness, the people that do the work, they get it done for us, so no board members allowed.
Did you want to do a photo?
Oh, Laurel. Yes.
Should I sign it? Looks a little more official sign.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right, take us in there.
Moving on to presentation of Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, fiscal year 2026 budget award, and I'll turn this over to Director Sopel, and then I think Director Milgren.
This will be a quick one, but it's very exciting. So once again, the district has earned the Government Finance Officers Association Award for Distinguished Budget Presentation. And so instead, this will be accepted by Tim on behalf of the finance team. And so very excited to bring this award back to the district. So we do have a plaque on the very back wall all the way to the left where we kind of add every single year we've done it. We have consistently been honored with this award from GFOA and excited to present that again today. Oh, it's 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Wow, you have a speech for us?
No, but Laurel needs to get a picture too, because finance does not do this by themselves. Laurel is a big part of that. So, oh, hey, look, I'm getting good results.
Thank you.
That sure does take a team. Thank you,
Oh,
Tim,
big
for all the
time.
work that you
Big
do
time.
and
Thank you.
your
Thank you.
leadership.
Thank you.
It's definitely very important to have the leadership, so thank you. Yeah. All right, we're on to approval of the minutes from February 6th, 2026. There's not any changes from the board or from staff on this. I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilor Brennan.
Yeah, so just real quick on the minutes, they gotta change it, my title from mayor back to commissioner.
Okay, so we will note that as changes for the minutes.
Commissioner, I'll make that change for you.
All right, thank you. And other than that, I would make a motion to approve with that change.
Okay, we have a motion by Edgewood and second by Santa Fe County. Can we call the roll on that, please, with the changes?
Yes. Taos County,
See what this?
I think we might have lost Ron.
Oh, let me, you can move on.
Um,
Let's see.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Tauski Valley,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Rio Arriba County,
I wasn't here, should I still say yes?
You can abstain.
You
if
can
you'd like.
abstain.
Pueblo de San Ildefonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
It would also appear that we lost Commissioner Mascarenas from Taos County.
Stephen, I think I saw one under not joined. At the very bottom, he's just trying to get in. Just like right there on not joined. Oh, no.
No, it should pop up if he tries to get back in.
Unless somebody else nominates, somebody else nominates.
We still have a quorum.
Thank you. Now is the time for public hearings. So the motion passed, thank you. Public hearings, we have a public hearing and adoption of amendments to the district service change policy. And for this, I'll turn it over, well, it's a public hearing, so do we want a presentation
We
first?
have a presentation first, yes.
Okay, so is that, turn this over to Director Sokol.
Thank you so much, that I'll take this one. Get that PowerPoint up on this, and we'll get rolled into the presentation.
We'll see what happens.
I know you're not reletting.
There we go. All right. So this item is to approve changes to our major service change policy. A major service change policy for public transit services is required by the Federal Transit Administration. All agencies that provide public transit and receive FTA dollars have a major service change policy. And it provides clear guidance and procedures on how we develop, implement, and communicate service changes, particularly when service changes exceed a certain threshold, to ensure that there's a public engagement process and the public has an opportunity to come in and be able to give their opinion whenever we make changes, in their best interest. And it ensures, stakeholders are involved throughout the process. The change that we are, well, before I go to the change, I guess we have 3 different classifications of major service changes. This would be next slide, right here. We have 3 different types of major service changes. We have major service changes, which are generally those changes that impact 25% or more of a route. They're usually based on some criteria of what that 25% is. There's a minor service change, so it impacts less than 25%. And then there's also categories for exceptions, which usually involve temporary detours or reductions lasting less than 12 months of service. So for instance, if we have a operator shortage and we have to temporarily reduce service, but then we intend to bring that back within a 12-month period, that typically falls under one of our exceptions. Next slide. The change we are making is really designed to be more specific and provide clearer standards to relate what our major service change policy is. So right now, it says 25% of the entire NCRTD network in terms of route path, bus stop, location, schedule, cost allocation. Then we have the same definition on a route basis. But what's not clear is what exactly does it mean when it says schedule or cost allocation. Traditionally in the transit industry, we relate that in terms of vehicle revenue hours and miles. So that's the measure of the amount of service that's actually provided to the public, in the conveyance of that public transit service. So what we're doing here is essentially making it more specific, so it's measurable and it's consistent with Federal Transit Administration and industry terminology, as well as something that's measured and has definition by the National Transit Database and is in line with our peer agencies. So the change here is essentially, you'll see, calculated by vehicle revenue miles or vehicle revenue hours, so that is specific. The rest of the policy essentially remains the same. Any change in fares would trigger a major service change. That's consistent with what we have now. And the creation or elimination of any route or service remains a major service change, consistent with what we have right now. Next slide. And then a small other tweak to this policy, it has to do with our on-time performance thresholds and targets. Our on-time performance target we're proposing as a part of this amendment to adjust it from 95% to 90%. Traditionally in the transit industry, when you're running a bus service in mixed traffic, you tend to see on-time performance standards between 80 and 90%. 95% and higher is traditionally in the transit industry reserved for fixed guideway services and rail. So this is a little bit inconsistent, and creating a standard and a threshold that is frankly something that will be very difficult, if not impossible, for a mixed traffic operation to ever achieve. So I'm proposing to bring that to 90% threshold for on-time performance target. Then the other thing is the definition of what on-time performance means at time points. Currently, it's 0 minutes early to 5 minutes late. The tweak here is to make it 1 minute early to 5 minutes late, and that's just to be able to provide some leeway should there be a 60-second variation in clocks in how we're measuring the on-time performance. And so with that, I will open it up for the public hearing, if there's any comments from the public, and then I know we can move into comments from the board.
Yeah. Thank you, Director. Anyone from the public here? This is a public hearing, so now's the time to come ask your questions, give your concerns. Seeing no one approaching the podium or online, we'll close the public hearing and open it up for discussion from the board.
I just
So,
have a question. Do we meet the 90% on a regular basis?
No. No. 90% will definitely be an aspirational goal for us to attend. We are not currently meeting 90% threshold across the service.
Thank you.
Chair?
Yeah.
So then why, I mean, I understand there's some value in aspirational, but if we're running at 80, do we want to step it to something that's like, you know, aspirational but not out of this world?
I'm comfortable with initially setting it as 90% and kind of a way to get there. There's no compliance downside to us having the goal. Like there's not funding is not tied in any way, shape, or form to making or meeting that goal. And so it's something I do want to keep our eye on it and looking at increasing our on-time performance threshold. I want to see with the slight variation in definition going from 0 minutes to 5 minutes to 1 minute early to 5 minutes, you know, how that will shift. And then you'll see in our next presentation, we're doing some service changes for the next our next schedule cycle, which is coming up in April. A majority of our schedule changes are all geared towards improving on-time performance.
Okay.
And so I'm definitely looking to do that. Said as we measure it, I would be happy to come back, said, and constantly provide updates and kind of see how we're improving as time goes on. Because right now, said it's not looking great. But we're also working on ways to better measure on-time performance because it's measured via our technology on board our buses. And we have some outdated systems that we're looking to replace, and we actually have grant money to replace the system that does the tracking. So it's something we'll certainly be looking at more so in the future.
So while we're on this topic, and thank you, Director, for the answer, what are we running at? And are there outliers that are, let's start with that first question.
Yeah.
What are we running at?
We're running closer to 70% on-time performance currently based upon the data that we have. Again, we have some questions about the validity of some of that data, you know, so it's something I said we're going to continue to move forward and check. And when we did our service changes for this service change coming in April, instead of just strictly focusing on service expansion, which is really what we have done historically the last couple of cycles, took a concerted effort to look at on-time performance, you know, as being one of the key drivers to how we're creating our schedules for the April bid cycle. So I'm expecting to see increases.
Okay, thank you. And so do we compare well with other rural sort of similar sized agencies or systems? And what's the average, if you know offhand, delay? Is it an hour or is it 10 minutes?
Hard to say what the average delay is because essentially what we do is we measure it strictly if you meet the standard or not. You know, so right now, if the bus hits a time point along a route and it's outside 0 minutes early to 5 minutes late, it's just considered to be not on time. Oh. Now we can certainly dig into that further and do like, you know, a more detailed analysis.
2 minutes is on time to me.
Correct.
In a rural system like this, it's, you know.
Yeah. So if a bus left a time point right now, 1 minute early, it's considered to be not on time. If it left 5 minutes and 1 second late, then it's also not on time. So basically, if it doesn't fall within that narrow, whatever that threshold is, then in our data, it's showing it is not on time.
Okay.
In terms of other peer agencies, we are falling below where we should be based upon the data we have. Again, I said I have questions about the validity of our actual data that we're looking into. But right now, we are not in line with our peers across the country.
And I mean, to be fair to us, it is hard to compare, you know, we are sending buses to Chamo.
Oh, it's extremely difficult.
It's very far away from Espanola, so, okay.
Yeah, most agencies do not have the length of, you know, of our routes, right? So you think about it, right? Like even if you're driving in your car without stops, pickups, potential passengers with mobility devices, things of that nature, right? If you had to figure out, okay, how can I get from, you know, Santa Fe all the way to Taos? And can I predict that I'm going to get there within a 5 minute standard with an unknown number of passengers along the way? That's kind of what we're asked to do in transit, you know, which is why I said we give ourselves a little bit of leeway on that on-time performance standard of kind of where we actually fall. But it's certainly something that I'm very keen on improving our on-time performance, and I was a little bit surprised to see where we currently stood, but then kind of came into the role of figuring out that it's a combination of being a little bit more intentional about how we're creating our schedules through the lens of on-time performance, but then also improving some of our back-end technologies, that track the on-time performance data to make sure that we actually are getting good data from our systems.
Thank you for those. No more questions.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, may
Yes, Councillor Oswald.
Thank you very much. I'm just curious if the time points on our routes are part of that 70% delay factor, and if maybe those should be spaced out a little.
Yeah, a typical route has about 5 to 6 time points. Some of our longer routes, because there's so many miles, have more than that. And that is something that I know on the service planning side we're looking at, pretty closely as time goes forward. Are our time points in the right locations? Is it a safe space to even lay over? So sometimes what happens actually is that a bus might be running ahead of schedule, right? So maybe it's running 3 minutes early at a time point. But if the bus doesn't have a safe place to pull off the side of the road and wait for 3 minutes to get back on time, then the operator might feel pressured to continue the route. They don't feel safe waiting on the side of the road in some of our rural conditions, and so, in that case, they would potentially trigger an early, which is not on time, and so that's something we're also looking at, is making sure that, that folks, when they have a time point, and if you're not on schedule, particularly if you're early, do you have the ability to be able to pull off the side of the road and wait and hold for that 1 or 2 or 3 minutes to be able to pull out on time, so that you trigger the on time? Because all of our on-time performance is based on departure, not on arrival. So it's when you leave the stop, is when the trigger box gets hit of whether you're on time or not. And so if we don't have safe places to hold, if you're running early, then that's something we got to look at as well. And that's what you would see in our data too, is that we have some time points where we are running early, and we have some where we are running late. And so it's kind of a complex, thing of, trying to make that work and looking at what the field conditions are, as well as, pairing it with our technology and scheduling.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions? None from the chair. So being it's a public hearing, I think this is an action item, correct?
Yes.
We have to vote on. So
Yes, please.
if seeing no other comments or questions, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval to the change in the service policy.
So moved.
Okay. Motion by Santa Fe County. Second by Rio Arriba County. And can we call the roll, Rena? Thank you.
Yes, Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
He's dropped out again.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tsuke,
Brenda, you're muted.
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo de San Alfonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. On to our second public hearing for approval for proposed changes to Route 320 Cuesta and 330 Penasco, and I'll turn this over to Director Sopel.
Thank you so much. So we are having this public hearing because of the action we just had. So essentially we're working diligently on our April service changes. We do service changes twice a year, in April and in October. And looking at what we want to accomplish for April, we have 2 routes that are triggering our major service change threshold. So in this case, it is a major service change for the Cuesta route as well as our Penasco route. So we'll get that presentation up, and then we will go to the next slide whenever you have it ready and rolling. So for both of these routes, what we're looking to do is actually restore some of the midday trips that were previously removed as a part of the COVID-19 service reductions. And so to bring these trips, because the service has been suspended for well over 12 months, to bring this service back triggers a major service change threshold because it increases those revenue hours more than 25% for each route. So in the case of Cuesta, it's going to increase service 38% by revenue hour calculation. In the case of Peñasco, 50%. And so both of these, they've both been under reductions for more than 12 months. We're bringing some of the service back. And the public hearing and the board approval is required for implementation because it is a major service changes. These will go into effect on April 11, 2026, which is when all of our next service changes will go into effect across the district. There's no modifications to the route path. This is schedule only improvements. Next slide. So the first one is for the Cuesta route. What you see here is a comparison of the current schedule to the proposed schedule. And what you'll notice is that there is now a new midday trip that's been added, that starts at Taos admin at 10:55 a.m., goes to Cuesta, gets to Cuesta by 11:45 a.m., and then returns back to Taos admin at 12:50 p.m. And so this, something to note for the Cuesta route, of all of our routes, this route is actually our highest efficiency route in the entire Blue Bus network. So when you look at the number of hours of service we provide Cuesta to their ridership, it has the highest passengers per revenue hour in our system. And so this is definitely a route where we believe that these changes could result in additional increases in ridership and additional convenience, because it will allow folks to be able to potentially do a midday trip, to be able to not have to come to, let's say you're in Cuesta and you're trying to get to Taos, which is a majority of the folks on this route. You won't have to spend your entire day in Taos to do that at this point. Now you'll have that half in the middle of the day trip to be able to decide if you wanted to go into Taos, you could go to Taos for a couple hours and then get back home, as opposed to, getting on the bus, in the 7, 8 o'clock hour, and then not getting a return trip until the 2 to 4 o'clock hour. Next slide. The other route we're proposing service increases to that triggered the major service change threshold is the Peñasco route. This route, as you can see on the proposed schedule, again, we're adding a midday trip or a second trip. This one's not quite midday, it's more so late AM, but we're adding that second trip in there to be able to provide folks an additional opportunity to connect to the Chimayo route at Trompas. Next slide. So we believe that these service changes will provide greater flexibility for riders. You have an opportunity to choose trips throughout the day as opposed to the current schedule, which is essentially there's one trip in the morning, one trip in the evening. So there's not very many options for folks, and how they would schedule around on these routes. It's going to improve enhanced regional mobility because each one of these routes we're facilitating those connections. And when we made these schedules, we ensured that we could make connections to our other services. So the Cuesta route is timed so that we can make connections now with Red River, with Chile Line, and with the Taos Santa Fe route. And in the case of Peñasco, we're able to meet up with Chimayo, Chile Line, and the Taos Santa Fe route and facilitate those connections from service to service if you're looking to go beyond the geography of those routes. Next slide. So with that, looking for approval of the major service changes after, of course, the public hearing, if anyone wishes to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. This is a public hearing, so anyone from the public would like to come and address the board over these changes? Seeing no one, no takers, nobody online. Open up for discussion from the board. Questions, comments, concerns? Yes.
How many other
Mr. Boyle?
routes were impacted by COVID? Do we have an idea of what other routes were impacted? Because I know, like, for example, Rito, they're trying to beef up the college up there, so I don't know if that's on the list or if that's still been impacted. Do we have an idea how many of those are?
It was a majority of our routes. I don't have the list on top of my head with Bryce unable to be here today, but yes, a majority of our service was heavily impacted by COVID-19, but then subsequently impacted by a shortage of operators, which we are still facing to this day.
Yeah, that's what
and that is the reason why a lot of services, are still suspended, including El Rito, including a route in Los Alamos. We have a couple routes throughout the district that still have been unable to be restored due to staff shortages.
Thank you.
These particular changes will not require any additional FTEs or changes in staff, and that's one of the reasons why we are comfortable moving them forward this cycle.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, what is the wishes of the board on this?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Edgewood moves, Edgewood moves to propose the changes to Route 320 Cuesta and 330 Penasca.
Taos County will second.
Okay. Motion by Edgewood, second by Taos County. Can we call the roll, Rena?
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo de San Alfonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. On to our consent agenda. Has everyone had this opportunity to review the items on consent? Any members of the board would like to pull any of these items? And if not, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So move.
Okay, motion by City of Espanola.
I see.
Second.
Second by Rio Arriba County, and I'd like to call the roll, please.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo of San Alfonso.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion
everyone.
passes.
Thank you. Now on to the fun part. Our election's always fun.
Yes. Stressful.
Can be a little stressful, but
This is an easier one.
we are on item 10 of our action items, the election of officers. I'm going to turn this over to General Counsel Esteban Sanchez for some direction and some reading of rules and. So, Esteban.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Our officer positions are 2-year terms. Our last elections were in April of 2024, in March of 2024 to begin in April of 24. So we're now due for elections for the positions of chair, vice chair, and secretary treasurer, which has been always in the past combined into one position. So, that being said, we have our bylaws which spell out the duties of each of these officers. If any member wants us to, we can read each of those duties. The list for chair and secretary treasurer are fairly long. Vice chair is fairly short. And also note that Vice Chair Oswald was serving an unexpired term of the previous vice chair, so that's why all 3 positions are up, even though she was elected 1 year ago. So aside from that, we go through our procedure now. I don't know if there's any questions before we start.
Are the bylaws in the packet? Sorry, Chair.
No, they are not.
Yeah, that's
There is, sorry, I should say, there is a portion exertion from the bylaws in the packet, but the entire bylaws are not. So the Article 10 dealing with officers is in there, so.
I see it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, Esteban. That being said, are there any other questions for clarification or rules as to who's eligible to run? Because at this point, any elected official, tribal member, correct?
Yes, so,
Or tribal council member or tribal governor is eligible to run for any of these positions. So with that being said, go ahead.
yeah, so just to note there, the staff members are not eligible to run. It has to be an elected official, tribal governor, or tribal council member.
Thank you. And with that being said, we have the first position open, which is chair. And if I'll turn it over to you to run that election, because I'm current chair. And I don't want to run an old election, and I plan on running again. But that way you can go through the proceedings and allow anyone else to have any nominations or not. Go through it.
Okay,
Thank you,
so the chair position, well, as I stated earlier, will be held until April 2028. The chair's duties are articulated in the bylaws. I think you're probably aware of most of those from our meetings. We can read those off if any member requests. So we'll start with, are there any members that are interested in serving as chair or nominating a fellow member?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Lee Garcia for chair.
One second, Genevieve, we have a question on the floor here.
Great.
And I'll second that, but I wanted to ask if votes were by member or by
voting strength?
Vote share.
Yes, they're by vote share. Should it come down to be calculated, that's how we would determine it.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have one nomination of Chair Garcia.
I'll second that.
Okay. Staff can vote, right? We just can't serve? Yes, that's correct. Seen no other nominations. So typically we'd have each nominated member have the opportunity to address the board regarding their interest, qualifications, and availability. There's one nominated person. We'd allow the chair to do that.
Nobody else wants it? Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Chair, if you would like to address the board, you may.
Thank you. So do we need to make a motion for that to accept the chair by acclamation?
We don't have that spelled out in our bylaws or in our contract. So if you want to make any further statement, we can hold a vote now.
I just appreciate the confidence that everyone has. As I stated in previous instances, especially under Director Mortellaro, yes, it's challenging to keep up with all the demands. However, very easy to get through these things with the support of a good director and good staff. And so I accept the nomination. Thank you, Councilor Oswald, and the second by I'm sorry.
Johnson.
That's one of the things, is trying to keep everybody's name in your brain as you're going through everything. But I thank you for the confidence that you all have in that, and will do the best to my ability to work with you all the partners, city, thank you for being here, and the director, to continue for the next couple years. And so with that, I do accept that.
Well, Chair, I think we still have to hold a vote. So first, is there any motions to hold a vote?
Move to call for a vote? Is that-
Okay, or to call for a vote.
Canvas members of board are interested. All right, so, motion to hold a vote on chair, myself, and entertain a motion for election of the chair, Lee Garcia.
So
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Johnson, second by Councilor Oswald, and can you call the roll on that?
Yes. Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo de San Alfonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Out loud.
Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate
Yeah,
all,
you have to
appreciate that
say that.
support. Now we'll move on to the position of vice chair. And again, it's open to any member of the board that is either elected official or tribal member or governor. I'd like to nominate Genevieve Oswald as our vice chair once again.
Second?
I'm sorry, who's second?
We're gonna have a,
Rock, paper, scissors.
we'll give it to Councilor Hand.
So it's Santa Fe County and Los Alamos County?
City of San.
City of Santa Fe.
City, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you for the nomination.
At this time, we have one member nominated. Is there any other nominations from the floor for vice chair? Any other nominations from the floor, from the board for vice chair? Any other nominations from the board for vice chair? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to accept Councilor Oswald as vice chair for this coming term, and do so by acclamation.
Second.
Okay. And we'll go ahead and call the roll. I'm calling the roll because we have a big majority of people online, so we can get everyone's vote, so. Go ahead and call the roll, Rena.
Yes. Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo de San Alfonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's my honor to serve on this board. I apologize for not being able to be there in person today.
Thank you, Genevieve. And now on to election of our secretary treasurer.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to nominate, if she'll accept it, Melanie Hand, Counselor Hand, for secretary treasurer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Santa Fe County for nomination of Counselor Hand, and a second by Rio Arriba County. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Are there any other nominations from the floor? Seems none. Going once, third chance. Any other nominations from the floor for secretary treasurer? Okay. Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion, have someone make a motion to accept Counselor Hand as our secretary treasurer by acclamation.
So move.
Moved by
Second by Taos County.
Rio Arriba County, and second by Taos County. And let's call the roll on that, please.
Yes. Rio Arriba County,
Yes.
Pueblo de San Alfonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Yes.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Yes.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola,
Yes.
Los Alamos County,
Yes.
Nambe Pueblo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone, and that sure makes things a lot easier administratively, right?
Sure did.
Steven's happy.
Thank you for making my life easier.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and thank you for entrusting all of us with the leadership. It just goes to show how well I think the executive committee has been able to work together in moving things forward, especially during our change in leadership and so on and so forth. So with that, we will move on to adoption of resolution number 2026-04, authorizing signatory for banking. Turn this over to Tim Mildren.
There is no need because of the election results to do anything on this one, so it can be removed.
Okay, so Tim is happy about that one too.
It makes my life easier.
Okay, so we bypassed number 11, and now we're on to number 12, which is approval of recommended site for the Chama Operations Center. And I'll turn it over to Director Sokol.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chair. Back in September of 2025, this board received a presentation or an update from our study from our representatives from Wilson and Company, which are helping us do this study to locate a permanent domicile in the Chama area. You know, there was a pretty robust discussion by the board, lots of questions about, you know, what site would be the best site and the best course of action for us. This has a lot of strategic advantages for the district to be able to have some sort of site in Chama. For those who might be unaware, right now, our operators that operate daily out of Chama are reporting to basically a dirt parking lot. You know, in the cold, in the snow, in every condition imaginable. It is a very tough operation. And so we're looking to provide a, not a large, but a very small base of operations, but something to give them a home where they'd be able to have basic amenities, you know, a break room, a restroom facility, you know, some ability to be able to wash the buses underneath cover outside the elements and store the buses in an indoor location. And so very excited about this project. And so today, the presentation from Wilson is going to review the final analysis and recommendation for the site at Chama to move forward. And then stealing a little bit of thunder from one of our future meetings, but just wanted to let everyone know, we did ask for capital outlay funds to be able to acquire property for a Chama site. And if everything gets signed and approved, you know, through the signing window, we are looking to receive $125,000 in capital outlay for land acquisition for this site in Chama, whichever the site is that the board chooses to proceed with today. So this is kind of a really exciting moment with this. So we'll be able to move forward, you know, knowing that there is funding already in hand to be able to acquire a site to keep this project moving. So with that, I'd like to introduce our consulting team from Wilson. We have, we have Larry Salazar and we have Liam. I'll turn the floor over to you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Do you want me
Just
to
waiting for the.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Good morning, Chair and board members. My name is Larry Salazar. I'm a community planner with the Wilson and Company team. Joining me today, I have Liam Strader-Monaghan, who's also a planner with the team. We also have Angelica Bryant, who is our project manager. I will call her on my cell phone after for questions. She's having issues getting onto the Zoom meeting, so we'll bring her in after. All right.
Spacebar should do it. Let me do that.
There we go. All right, so here's our agenda that we have. It's going to be somewhat lengthy, but a few key items that I want to go over, the main topics for this on our presentation. First, we have a brief overview of the project background and the study purpose of the project. Second, we'll describe the current operational conditions in Chama. And third, we'll explain the site screening evaluation process used to narrow the list of candidate sites. Fourth, we'll review the 2 finalist sites and results of the comparative analysis that we have. And finally, we'll present the staff recommendations and outline for the next steps, should the board choose to proceed with either item. And then, there we go. So here's a little bit of the project background. We started our study timeline in April of 2025. We coordinated with NCRTD staff for facility needs and assessment, which we interviewed, or we sent out a questionnaire to employees that service the Chama 190 and Hikaria 170 routes. The site identification and screening was over the summer, and then we presented a detailed site analysis for first meeting in the fall of 2025. And now we present to you our final report and recommendation. The scope, we evaluated a total of 17 candidate sites, brought it down to 2 finalist sites for comprehensive analysis. The assessed operational efficiency, environmental compliance, Title VI, equity and fiscal impact. We kind of did an overall overview with that, which we'll present in a little bit later. And just to address the critical safety and service and reliability for employee retention within these 2 routes. And
great, so I'll go ahead and take over for a little bit. So first I want to just talk a little bit about the study purpose. The point of this study was to look for a permanent transit facility in the Chama area to service both the Route 190 and 170. This effort was conducted in partnership with North Central New Mexico Economic Development District. And again, it was just to address several operational challenges, including vehicle storage, driver support space, and just to improve overall safety and reliability for NCRTD service. So first we'll look at Route 190, which goes from between Chama and Espanola. The route serves approximately 5,700 to 6,500 riders annually, and has a total of 36 bus stops along the way. Full round trip distance is approximately 160 miles, connecting Espanola and Chama. Go to the next slide. This is the other route that serves through the Chama area, Route 170 Hikaria. This one connects Chama and the Hikaria Apache Nation. This provides service between Chama and Dulce on Mondays and Wednesdays, and continues through to Farmington on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This route is approximately 220 miles in round trip and has 19 designated bus stops along the way. Because obviously these are both very long rural routes, having reliable operations facility in Chama is important for maintaining vehicle readiness and driver support. Next. So we'll look at the existing conditions. The current NCRTD bus storage is outdoors in Chama. Of course, this comes with multiple operational challenges, especially in the middle of winter. There's no indoor vehicle storage, which exposes buses to the elements and drivers to the elements. Again, there's limited workspace, restrooms, brake facilities, anything to support the drivers up there. This obviously makes pre-trip inspections more difficult. It can contribute to operator fatigue, and especially for those drivers completing those 160 to 220 mile routes, it's a lot. All right, so we'll dive into the site selection process here. We followed a structured methodology throughout this process. We used evaluation criteria such as site size, access and circulation, floodplain conditions, utilities, and property ownership. From these criteria, we were able to find 17 candidate sites during the initial phase. Most of these sites were eliminated after some more analysis due to some constraints, and eventually that left us with 2 sites to be advanced. So we reduced from 17 original sites to 2 finalist sites. We then took these 2 sites and we evaluated them in greater detail based on operational performance, environmental considerations, equity, compliance, and overall costs. So the results of this evaluation form the basis of the recommendation we'll be presenting later. Next slide. So you can see here we have the maps of the sites we considered. The 2 finalist sites that we identified were Site 1, 2483 Collin Drive, located within the Village of Chama boundaries, and Site 2, Highway 64 and Seca Drive, located approximately 1.5 miles south of the village boundary. Both sites were evaluated under multiple development scenarios to understand their feasibility and cost implications. Sorry. All right, so we'll first look at Site 1, 2483 Collin Drive. Municipal utilities are available at the property boundary, which simplifies development. The acquisition is a single parcel and no displacement is anticipated. There is a manufactured home on the property at present under a current short-term rental arrangement, which can be addressed during acquisition if necessary. The developable portion of this site is outside of the FEMA floodplain and overall just reduces environmental risk. Finalist Site 2, US Highway 40, and Seca Drive, is located approximately 1.5 miles south of the village boundary. For this site, we developed 2 scenarios to evaluate the site. Option A assumes the use of on-site well and septic systems. Option B assumes the extension of municipal utilities over approximately 4,000 feet. Option B would require easements across 15 to 25 parcels, which significantly increases both cost and implementation complexity. So for this reason, option B was not recommended to be analyzed further. At this point, I'm going to turn back the presentation to Larry.
Thank you, Liam. So here's our evaluation scoring. To compare the finalist sites, the project team developed a structured evaluation scoring system. The criteria include operational efficiency, infrastructure readiness, environmental risk, zoning and permitting considerations, acquisition feasibility, cost certainty, and Title VI equity compliance. Each category was assigned a weighted score based on the importance to the project. The result shows that Site 1 received the highest overall score with 121 points, followed by Site 2, Option A, which is the well and septic on site, which is 112 points, and Site 2, Option B, with 106 points, that is with utility extension to the property. Site 1 performed particularly well due to its infrastructure readiness, location within the village, and lower implementation complexities. So here's a breakdown of our site comparison, Site 1 versus Site 2 A and B options. The slide summarizes the key differences between the finalist sites. Site 1, again, is located within Village of Chama and has utilities available at the property boundary. The site is approximately 2.7 acres and requires acquisition of a single parcel. Site 2 is located outside of village boundaries and includes approximately a total of 7 acres of land. While larger, the site provides more space. It requires either on-site utilities or the extension of municipal utilities. And when considering location, infrastructure, availability, and implementation feasibility, Site 1 offers several advantages that reduce risk and simplify development when it comes to cost and build out. Here we have a breakdown of our NEPA and URA compliance, this is our life cycle cost. The team also evaluated total cost of ownership of over a 20-year planning horizon. The life cycle cost for Site 1 ranges approximately $3.4 million to $3.25 million, And Site 2, Option A, the life cycle cost ranges from approximately 3.13 million to 3.29 million. These ranges overlap, meaning the difference between the two options are relatively small. And however, Site 2, Option B shows significantly higher costs due to required utility extensions, bringing the total life cycle up to 3.81 to 4.9 million. Here we have our NEPA and URA compliance. Federal compliance requirements are also evaluated for each site. Under the National Environmental Policy Act, Site 1 is expected to qualify for a categorical exclusion, which is simplest and fastest environmental review pathway. Site 2 may require additional environmental review, including potential wetland delineation, before confirming the appropriate NEPA pathway. Under the URA, or the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act, Site 1 has a low displacement risk because of the manufactured home on the property that is currently under a short-term rental agreement between the resident and the owner. Overall, Site 1 presents the lowest environmental and regulatory risk, being that it has already been developed. And Title VI, the Civil Rights Equity Act. The Title VI equity analysis was conducted to ensure that the site selection process complies with federal civil rights requirements. The analysis evaluates minority population, low-income population, and communities with limited English proficiency. The results show that all finalist sites are fully compliant with the Title VI requirements. No disproportionate burden or disparate impact was identified for any of the site options. So this means the board's decision can focus primarily on cost, feasibility, and implementation considerations. Here we have a funding strategy overview. There are several potential funding sources that could support construction of the trauma operations facility. Primary source is the FTA Section 5339 Bus and Bus Facilities Program, which can fund up to 80% of eligible project costs. Then we have the additional funding that could come from New Mexico Capital Outlay Appropriations, which have historically supported transit facility investments in the state. Other programs such as CMAQ or the Transportation Alternative Program may help fund specific components, although their applicability may be limited. And local contributions from NCRTD member governments could also be used to support the required local match. Here we have a cost comparison and risk. The slide summarizes the comparative cost estimate for the 3 development scenarios. Site 1, the estimate total project cost ranges from 2.98 million to 3.19 million. Site 2, Option A, the cost ranges, and again, Site A references the well and septic system build out. Cost estimate is approximately 3.12 million to 3.27 million. While the differences between these two, again, are significantly small, Site 1 offers a great infrastructure certainty and a lower implementation risk. Site 2, Option B, which requires municipal utility extensions, results in significantly higher costs and a greater project complexity for build out. Okay. So that's kind of a breakdown further with the cost estimates. So next steps, if the board endorses the recommendation, the next steps will include several early project activities. These include survey work, environmental studies, and geotechnical investigations. Following that, NCRTD would pursue NEPA approval, being the federal grant application process, and advance the design to approximately 30% completion. Land acquisition and coordination with utilities would also occur during this phase. And once funding is secure, the project could proceed into final design and construction. So going back, based on the evaluation results, staff recommends that the board select Site 1 at 2483 Collin Drive as the preferred location for the trauma operations facility. Site 1 has achieved the highest evaluation score and has several advantages. Utilities are already available on the property boundary to simplify development. The site is located within village limits and supports local coordination and stakeholder support. It also offers the fastest environmental approval pathway and lower implementation risks of the site. Overall, Site 1 provides the most balanced combination of cost, feasibility, and operation benefits. In closing, this concludes our presentation. On behalf of the project team, we appreciate the opportunity to support NCRTD in this important planning effort. And thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Liam, for the presentation. And any questions from the board on this item for the site operations center?
If you guys don't mind, I will also call in on Helika. She wasn't able to jump on the Zoom call, who is our project manager for the site also.
Sure.
For any questions.
Okay, is she, she's online?
She wasn't able to get on the call.
Okay.
So but I can call if there's any questions.
That's okay. Well, let's just see if we need her to answer anything, but Councilor Hand, we'll go to you first.
I guess the question maybe is also to the executive director, but you know, the site is more constrained on the recommended site. Do we anticipate a need for expansion over time? Or do you think that this is going to serve our needs, and for how long?
Yeah, we do believe that the site that has been recommended, will meet our future needs.
Okay.
Going out
For like 10 years, 20 years?
20 plus years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a lot of expected growth in this particular area. It's not a high growth particular situation out there, and it is quite remote on our very northern extremity of our district. I would not expect a need to be able to, or need to have to expand further beyond what we would build as a part of this project.
That's all I needed to know.
And if we did, there actually is still, there is a little bit of land that we could still expand to, but it's certainly, we're not expecting any kind of high growth area.
Okay, thank you.
Gabriel, go ahead and chime in, because I know you're.
I was just going to address that. The demographics don't show growth in the county. But again, with climate change, we get migration or something like that, catastrophic, there could be a growth, but it's been declining for years. So.
Okay.
And I think I brought that up before, so I agree entirely that this should be ample.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. I had that question, and thank you for the sort of information on growth projections. So what, and this is, I think, a question for also the executive director or the consultants. What is can you give us just a snapshot picture of what the facility will look like? Is it 2 rooms, restrooms, storage, bus bays?
Yeah, it would be about 1,300 to 1,500 feet of under air conditioning and heat for operations. That would include a small operator lounge that includes kind of a kitchenette, microwave kind of situation, some computers for them to clock in and out for their day, a floating office for either security staff or operations staff to be based out of there, and then as well as a restroom facility and a storage facility for very light maintenance. We're not expecting them having any kind of permanent maintenance function at this site, but things like changing washer fluid and potentially, making sure we get everything clean, for cleaning supplies and things of that nature. So this would not be a maintenance site per se. It would just be for kind of preventative as a part of the operators to be able to do their pre-trip. And then we would have an indoor garage space to be able to store the vehicles in an enclosed environment that could fit up to 6 vehicles.
Okay, 6, that's good. Thank you, Director. So do we have an idea about the short-term rental? Are we about to operate an Airbnb as NCRTD or a little revenue stream? Or what is the intention of that, if we choose Site 1?
No, we will not be operating a short-term rental. However, if we do acquire Site 1, we would definitely want to look into the condition of that particular, manufactured home that's on the property. If it is up to standards or could be rehabbed, it could be a potential site that we could use should we need someone to cover Chama overnight. So right now, Chama is so remote. If anyone in Chama right now goes on vacation, even, it is very difficult to get anyone to cover those Chama routes because it is so remote. And so we actually pay for hotels right now for folks to have to cover Chama if we can find anyone to cover it all, and so that is a challenge. And there is not a really high availability of hotels either for us, in that area. And so if that, it's not essential, but it would be kind of a good to have if that unit was viable, and met certain standards. It could be a option for us to be able to have a place for overnight for an operator should we need to call in folks from another yard and alleviate for us from having to pay for hotels to be able to keep folks overnight. But no, we would not. It would be something that would be used strictly for operational use only, and only when needed to support operations out of Chama.
Okay.
So like a snowstorm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm absolutely in favor. Thank you guys for the presentation. It was very informative. And I remember that we saw this 6 months ago or what have you. It seemed like Site 1 was the choice then because I like the hub aspect of it. I personally love Chama. I want it to thrive and grow. And it seems like, the more sort of storefronts and businesses that are occupied in the downtown area may have a good positive impact on economic development. Seems safer, less remote, closer to eyes, at all times of day. And the hub aspect to the Farmington, Hickory routes seems kind of just like convenient. I mean, I know 1.5 miles is nothing for us, but so thank you all. And I think it's clear to me that Site 1 is an excellent choice.
Thank you. Back to Councilor Hand, you have a question?
Thank you, Chair. I guess, you said that it would clearly be used for operational use, the mobile home that's out there, modular home. I'm just wondering, what about considering workforce housing? Do you think that would not be appropriate?
Only if used for our own operator.
Right.
And I said, and I'd rather, instead of having, that mobile home, my understanding is very small. So we only have room for one.
Okay.
I'd rather keep that one unit available for us to have in an emergency in Chama than to have some sort of permanent residence on site.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Brennan.
Yeah, I do like option 1, but I have a question on option 2. Being that it's 7 acres, the land that is not being used, could that be fenced off and leased off to other uses and form a revenue source?
You'd have to go through planning and zoning and commission approval for anything that's not residential or agricultural. So conceivably, yes.
Did you get that, Commissioner Brennan?
Yeah, I did. Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out. I'm trying to think outside the box and where the future is going to lie. If you have the extra land and you're leasing it off, and then using that as an income, and if something happens and we need the land, then you've got it.
Yeah. The other thing we need to be mindful of that there could be FTA restrictions, on our use of land. And I know when you enter arrangements like that, there's a very specific process that we would have to enter in order for us to be able to use our primary funding source, which will likely be bus and bus facilities grants from FTA. So that would be something we'd have to work through. That could be a challenge. The other piece of that, if you look at the geography of the site, it is quite narrow. It's a long 7-acre parcel, but it is not very wide, and the land kind of tapers as you go further south along the property line, which might limit its ability to be used for any kind of additional economic development.
Okay, thank you.
If it had water rights associated with the lower property? That's the other thing.
It's adjudicated or adjudicated water rights are associated with the overall property.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is, we don't want to build on ag land in the county. I think that would be a tough sale. I mean, because you have to displace those water rights, and that's something the county's never been in favor of. So just to let you know about that.
Thank you for your input, Gabriel. Given other questions, I just have a question in regards to the current facility, the way it stands now with the mobile home that's there. Is there room for everything else that we need if that mobile home were to stay on site?
Yeah, I don't know if you can go to the presentation. We did a preliminary site plan design for the site.
Good to see. kind of visualize it.
It's on, I believe it's slide
11, page
11.
92 in the board pack.
Okay.
Do you just keep hitting? No, the slide just keep hitting.
I don't know. That's-
I don't have board packet numbers. What, just stop me when.
Right there. Yeah, so this is just a preliminary site design. As you can see, what that 2.75 acres currently, we are maybe using a quarter of it specifically for the storage and office space. There's a lot that can be amended and changed on site. With this area, the utility lines for water and wastewater run along the north end of that road and along the west end of that road to the unit that's there. But yeah, it's maybe about a third of the site that how we did a preliminary site design. So there's plenty of area that can grow.
Yeah. The mobile home is located along the western side, just to the north of the horizontal line you see.
So is this north, south?
Yeah.
West,
north.
east?
Yeah,
Okay.
north is direct.
North is on the top.
Correct. So you'll see it looks like a little roof on the up right along the western property boundary.
Yeah.
That's the existing
So
manufactured home.
You need a pointer?
so yeah, so it's right here.
Is it the one with the red
That's the
roof?
mobile-
What's the
No,
red
he's
roof
pointing to it
there?
right there.
It's right here.
Okay.
The property here is the Ortega beef jerky.
Oh, okay. I know where that is. Okay.
Yeah, but right here, this is the facility. I believe it's a 1-bed, 1-bath unit, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you outline the property line?
So the property line, it runs along, it's a little wonky on the north end, goes up, heads south, goes along the north right-of-way of Collin Drive, and then the west right-of-way of 85, and then it goes around the.
Carved out. Okay. And so the rendition of the lower portion is
Right here would be the.
our potential, what it would look like for our usage.
Yeah, and kind of referencing where the 2 access points already are. It can be easy to drive in, go through, and head back out.
Mhm.
Or the other way.
So we have ingress and egress through both
It's good.
Collin Drive and the main road.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, that helps
I
quite
was
a
just
bit.
wondering, so looking at the picture up there, is that house the mobile home? The brownish one?
Oh, so I believe this one is the jerky stand.
Right.
This one, I believe, is the unit.
That's the mobile home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty small. Kind of nice.
I didn't even know they made mobile homes that small. 1 bedroom?
Single one.
That's pretty small. Oh, this-
That's a better picture.
It's like maybe 600-700 square feet.
Wow.
The jerky place.
Yeah.
Rough calculation.
I know where that
Worth
was.
pointing out, with sewer, they could throw in
They can
housing
get
in that
jerky
property, they have ample
Yeah.
room for housing, so the sewer allows them to do septic out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So they could bring jerky too.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board on this action item?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just a quick question. How long is that lease right now for that little mobile home? When does it
So-
expire?
So speaking with the realtor, it's a short-term agreement. So I believe it's a 30-day notice upon purchase or selling the property.
Yeah, because once we do start work on the site, that could also be used as your construction office.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so people don't
Yeah,
steal your
that's a
stuff.
good idea.
Okay, good. Seeing no other comments or questions, what's the,
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the recommended site for Site 1 for Chama Operations Center.
okay,
Edgewood seconds.
motion by Santa Fe County, give it to,
We can give it to,
we'll give the second to Edgewood, Town of Edgewood. So we can call the roll on that, please.
Yes. Los Alamos County,
yes.
Nambe Pueblo,
Yes.
Rio Arriba County,
Abstain.
Pueblo San Ildefonso,
Yes.
Santa Clara Pueblo,
Suzette?
Yes. Sorry, I have a cold.
City of Santa Fe,
Yes.
Santa Fe County,
Yes.
Taos County,
Taos County, yes.
Town of Taos,
Yes.
Village of Taos Ski Valley,
Yes.
Pueblo of Tesuque,
Yes.
Village of Chama,
Abstain.
Town of Edgewood,
Yes.
City of Espanola.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Passes, thank you, everyone. Moving on to presentations, we have none. Subcommittee reports, I'll turn this over to Finance Subcommittee report. Chair Melanie Hand.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say that our last meeting was on January 28th. I think I gave a report at our last February meeting, and so there is no further report. We have our next meeting on Wednesday, April 22nd.
Thank you so much. Tribal Subcommittee, we don't have Jeff here. Do you have anyone else to report on that, or did we bypass it?
The tribal subcommittee has not met.
It hasn't, have not met. Okay, so thank you. Sustainability Committee, no one here, and we'll on to Executive Director's Report. Turn this over to Director Sokol.
Thank you so much, Chair Garcia. I appreciate that. First off, I have said some really exciting news, and I want to recognize a new member of our staff who is sitting on the back bar over there, is Brian Walk. Brian joined us. Brian is our new Deputy Executive Director of Operations. He comes with 20 years experience from Lafayette, Indiana, where he was at City Bus. And he is in charge of our bus operations, our fleet, and facilities maintenance departments, which essentially is 75% of his organization. So it is a huge role, and I'm very happy to have him. The position had been vacant for a little over 2 years, so I'm very excited to have him, his experience here. And he said he's bringing 20 years of experience to Blue Bus, and I'm thrilled. And thank you and welcome. Second, in your board packet, you will find the ridership report. Some good news: our ridership is up 13.8% in January 26 when you compare it with January of 2025. That ridership is primarily bolstered by extremely strong performance on the Chile line out of Taos, where the ridership is up nearly 50% when you compare January 26 to January 2025, and so that is really significant. I mentioned this a little bit in my last board meeting, and I think one of the reasons why was we did restore some service on Chile line in the October changes, but additionally, Taos is fully staffed, and so we're seeing that our schedules are promised there, and folks are returning back to that service, and so it's a really positive thing. I'm hoping to replicate that with some of our other routes as we start to do additional service restorations as time goes on. We also saw very high ridership increases on the Mountain Trail route, up 21% when you compare January 26 over 25, even with the lower amounts of snow, which was kind of surprising to me because I was expecting to see a little bit of a dip in ridership in our ski routes, but we have not seen that. So that is a positive development there. The other ridership piece I'd like to bring up is last year the board authorized a free veterans program on MyBlue. We've consistently seen that ridership increase. Last month, we had 70 rides for free on that veterans program. So hoping to continue to see that grow, but that's kind of good news from the ridership reporting side. Definitely, so I encourage the board to take a look at that report in your packet. So that was reformatted starting in the beginning of this year. It is a lot easier to read. It's gone down from about 50 pages down to about 6 or 8 pages, and so I think you'll find it a lot more lot more useful potentially in terms of, what is the performance of the district, in terms of ridership. I'll give a short report kind of on outreach. We have been out and about as usual. We participated in, we went to Edgewood to support the Lions Club in their Stuff a Bus program, so that was really exciting. So we did that to support local students and families with gathering foodstuffs. We participated in the Transportation Day at the Roundhouse as a part of the legislative session. We also did the event at the Santa Fe Chamber as well, which was also during the legislative session. And then last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, the time escapes me, we sponsored and held a booth in Taos at the first ever inaugural Taos UConn event, which was kind of like a Comic-Con-like event. That was very exciting at UNM Taos. I went to that event myself on a Saturday. It was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to continue to sponsor that event. Also, actually, it was the same day as the Taos event. We actually had our quarterly training for our operator here. That's how we get all of our operators in the room and make sure that we're all, reading off the same sheet of music. And as a part of that, I held kind of the first in a very long time town hall for our frontline officers and operators, to be able to provide direct feedback to myself as well as to Brian. That was really well received. We're looking to do that again moving forward and getting that kind of direct line of communications, from those frontline workers and what their needs are, and prioritizing the operations of the district. And then my last piece, super exciting. Our next meeting, as we know, we moved the April 3rd meeting because it's Good Friday to April 10th. So we pushed that one out a week, and that April 10th is going to be our board retreat, which I can now announce is going to be very close by, but we're going to be meeting at the Santa Clara Inn. And they're on their 7th story. They have a beautiful facility up there that we'll be having our board retreat at. That will be a longer meeting. It's a little more of an all-day thing. We're looking at a meeting around 8:30 for a hot breakfast and networking, starting at 9:30, our usual time. But then that meeting will conclude at 3:30 p.m. with lunch in the middle and snacks to keep everybody engaged. Very much wanting to get as many folks to come out to that retreat as possible. There will be no, and because of that, right, there's no Zoom option for that particular meeting, right? This is a retreat. We need to be in person. We are paying for the space and for the ability to bring everyone together, to have a really great conversation about our goals moving forward and how to align, as we kind of now are coming out of COVID, having me as your new executive director, and kind of seeing things through a little bit of a different lens and trying to make sure that we're aligning, some of what I'm seeing in my vision with obviously the will and decision of the board from a policy perspective. We have a facilitator that's going to be helping us with that board retreat as well. So I'll be able to sit and participate with all the board members and having a really robust conversation. Very excited. I think it's been a long time, or I'm not sure if the board has ever had a board retreat, but I'm very excited to go about and do it. Board retreats are public meetings, so they are open to the public. So if they want to sit and join us. However, there is no Zoom, there is no online version of that meeting. There will be no recording of that meeting. There will be minutes. So it's a little bit of a different format, but I'm very excited to invite everyone to that. You'll see a lot of information coming from me in the week ahead, on all the details regarding the retreat. But very excited to have that be a very productive meeting for the board. And with that, that concludes my executive comments.
Thank you, Director. We have a report from Rio Metro.
I have nothing today.
Nothing? Okay, just gonna not forget about you. Forgot about you last time, so thank you for being here though always. And any matters from the board? Now it's time for matters from the board. Questions, comments?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Oswald.
Yes, I just want to give a plug for meeting with our new director. I spent a couple good hours with him last week. We had a great conversation. So if board members haven't taken the time to do that, I highly recommend it.
Yes,
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Vice Chair. It's something I've sent out emails to everyone in the last month or so. I have met with a number of members of the board. I'm happy to meet with anyone who wants to have a sit down and talk about, how we can best support your communities, moving forward. I'm well open and welcome to us. Every single conversation I had has been fantastic and valuable, I think from both sides, right? From the board member perspective, but also for me, because it helps me learn the context and what the needs are in the community being new to the region. So very open to that. I said, and if anyone wants even a follow-up meeting, happy to do those as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Oswald. And seeing no other matters from the board, none from the chair. Thank you all for being here. And again, as the director said, next meeting is Friday, April 10th, 2026. And with that, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Everybody have a good day.
Safe travel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.